Scratch the surface of what the mind can do.
It's a connection with the unknown.
Physicians use state-of-the-art technology to diagnose and treat illness. But without these external tools, psychic healers also seem to successfully treat disease. They use ancient ritual and tradition and tap the spiritual power we call faith to perform psychic healing.
The psychic in psychic healing doesn't refer to storefront psychics or fortune tellers we're bombarded with. In healing, psychic means the powerful roles the mind and spirit play in making us well. Since earliest recorded history, it has continued to coexist with mainstream medicine. In primitive cultures, shamans are the sole healers in their community. They are selected, not schooled, to perform ritualistic medicine. Their powers are bestowed on them during ceremonial circles, in which they make sacrifices to the spirits. Once they achieve their altered healing state, they call to their faithful flock to come to them for a cure based on belief in the benevolent forces of the unknown. While these rites still exist around the world, this type of psychic healing seems naive to our more sophisticated culture. But it is slowly coming into the Western world's consciousness.
One ancient healing method is called the laying on of hands, and it still seems to work today. Case in point, Dean Kraft. He claims to have mysterious healing energy that flows through his hands. Medical science is examining Dean Kraft's effect on his patients. For many of them, he is the last resort.
I could feel the heat oozing from his hand like an oven.
Something is not right. These hands are on fire and they're vibrating.
How does it work? I don't have any idea. Does it work? It does.
Then this friend of mine took me to lunch and sat me down and said, there's no reason why you should be in this pain. Dean Kraft will heal you. He's real.
Dean Kraft was pursuing a career in the music industry when, at the age of 21, he claims to have developed telekinesis.
During one of these demonstrations, or showing off at the time, my brother-in-law got this headache while he was watching this, and my first response was to go lay hands on his head, which I did, and of course, his headache went away, and, I didn't really think much of it at the time, and I started laying on hands, and that process is pretty intuitive. It's not a planned process. Once I start laying on hands, it's sort of my hands go to areas, and I sort of follow them. What else goes on is I start to visualize, and it's like if this tumor is the size of an egg, I start to picture it, and in my mind, I try to see it get smaller. I see myself to be like a catalyst, like a spark plug, that I use my energy to try to catalyst the person's own healing system. I believe that medical doctors are meant to diagnose. I believe very much in medical science. And basically, I work on most of the cases after doctors have given up.
With his hands, Kraft has been able to effect many positive changes in his clients' medical conditions. Even the medical establishment accepts his amazing healing powers.
I've seen patients who are paralyzed get up and walk. I've seen people who have cancer no longer have cancer. I've been watching this happening for 12 years.
A study by Howard University found that 40% of Dean Kraft's patients show a definite improvement in their medical condition. Even more remarkable are the results of experiments Kraft has done in a clinically controlled environment. Using his laying on of hands technique, he has effectively lowered the blood pressure of laboratory rats. Kraft has also been able to destroy cancer cells, called HeLa cells, in a test tube. But the nature of his power is still a mystery.
We know that it can affect things, but we haven't been able yet to determine what is this energy. Energy is a very loose word. I don't even like the word energy. It's a very loose word that's used. But it's the best one, I guess, to describe something that's some type of transference that's taking place.
I had very bad sciatica for about a year and a half. It was equivalent to having your teeth drilled on constantly. That's really what the pain was like, what it got to. I couldn't drive because I couldn't press my right foot down on the gas pedal or brake, so I had to have someone drive me. I was seeing a chiropractor constantly, and that would alleviate the pain for about an hour, and then it would just slowly come back during the day. And I was basically in tears most of the time, and my quality of life was nil. Then I went to see Dean, and I remember thinking, well, is this going to work? And after one session with him, I was healed forever and ever.
In 1985, Nelda Buss was diagnosed with ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, better known as Lou Gehrig's disease.
It was my birthday. I was 43 years old, and they told me I had Lou Gehrig's disease. Well, they actually said amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, and I still wasn't real sure what that was.
ALS is a medical mystery. There is no known cause and no known cure.
The established medical profession, they just said, goodbye, see you, have a good life, live it to your fullest.
The disease inevitably progresses from partial to complete paralysis of all the muscles in the body.
She just kept getting progressively worse, and I guess from the time she was diagnosed until she was basically an invalid was only about 6 months or something.
In the final stages of ALS, Nelda had become a quadriplegic, unable to move, but mentally alert and aware that she was about to die.
I gave away most of my good clothing that I had, and I had my dress all picked out for what I was to be buried in.
Then Nelda heard about Dean Kraft.
And it was just such a relief to talk to him. I said that the doctors say there's no hope, and he said, well, he said, that's not always true.
Kraft did his laying on of hands for 3 months, and then they had a small but significant breakthrough.
In May, Glenn was showering me, and I could move my toe, and that was so exciting.
After her toes, Nelda slowly regained movement in her fingers, then her back muscles. Soon she could control her hands, then her arms and her legs. Nelda worked very hard on her own physical exercise regimen, in addition to treatments from Dean Kraft. Her family videotaped her progress over the course of a year.
It's wonderful to see her and her family being together and enjoying life together. Words cannot express the feeling that one has when this happens.
Okay. How's that?
Everything has changed. She's back and she's doing more than she ever did before. I mean, it's great to have a mother. It really is.
Coming up, a man who claims a healer performed a medical miracle that saved his life and astonished his doctors.
Bones started to grow where they said it couldn't grow. Skin started to regenerate where they said that can't be happening.
Miracles, do they really happen? One man's unconventional healing process has been called a miracle, not only by his family and friends, but also by the medical establishment.
He was one of those people who has this undefined ability to attract people. He didn't even understand it, and he was a very lovable person.
He was uniquely innocent and sweet, even as a little kid. He had this very kind of wide-eyed, open-to-the-world way, very charming, seemed to just sort of flow through a lot of things.
But in 1972, at the age of 20, Mitchell May had a horrible car crash in Athens, Alabama.
When the paramedics got there, they thought that I was dead, and it took them about 45 minutes to cut me out of the car. From what I've been told, I had about 40 fractures, and I had a couple of inches of bone actually ripped out of my leg, had the nerves completely severed.
It looked to me like a pride of lions had been chewing on his legs, and they said, we've had enough. And I didn't have any doubts. I just said, amputate if you need to. I mean, it never even occurred to me that he would be able to walk or use those legs again.
Not knowing if he would live or die, his family moved him back home to UCLA Medical Center in Los Angeles, where he was treated by orthopedic surgeon Dr. Edgar Dawson.
Well, Mitchell was still very seriously ill when he got here. Most of the skin from just below the knee down to the ankle was gone, and there was just bare bone hanging out with no muscle or skin over it, and it was grossly infected. There was green material just sort of oozing out of holes in the bone, and it was incredibly painful. And the only way I knew to get rid of his pain was to amputate his leg.
He's saying to me, you know, Mitchell, you are not going to walk on your legs again. That's just how it's going to be. And inside of me, a voice is saying, well, we'll see. We'll see.
Mitchell resisted amputation from the beginning, but faced with the reality of infection, no possible skin graft, and defects caused by the heavy painkillers he was administered, he almost gave up.
I never said go ahead and amputate, but I got this close to it. And it was because I was scared. I was scared of having to live with that pain the rest of my life. I knew I couldn't.
Mitchell's mother sought relief for his pain and found Jack Gray, a hypnotist and healer who was referred by the Neuropsychiatric Institute at UCLA.
I was very skeptical, but I was desperate at that point.
I said, this is ridiculous. It isn't going to work, but it's probably relatively harmless, so why not?
He was trained in helping people with pain and healing people, but he was not a doctor.
I had already, and Mitchell doesn't even know this until now, I had already scheduled his surgery to amputate his leg. Sorry, Mitchell.
I expected some guy in a purple cape to come, you know, strolling in with a magic wand or something. And here came in the room a totally ordinary looking man. And he looks at me and he says, Mitchell, we can heal your leg. You have whatever you need already in you. It's born in everyone. We're just going to wake it up.
I saw Mitchell for the first time get hope.
Jack Gray used the laying on of hands, hypnosis, and worked with Mitchell on positive visualization. And he got results.
Bones started to grow where they said it couldn't grow. Skin started to regenerate where they said that can't be happening. Nerve function started to happen again, and they're saying, but, you know, that's not supposed to be able to happen. Again, this took time. I was in the hospital for a year. I was in a wheelchair for a couple of years. I was in metal braces, and each step of the way, the doctors were saying, this is incredible, but this is as far as you're going to get.
But Mitchell did take the next step. In fact, he literally made great strides, working and finally walking with the help, support, and instruction of his healer, Jack Gray.
Tell yourself, I can walk. Recall how you used to. Now I'm going to let go. When I let go, walk, Mitchell. Up and back. Walk. Walk, Mitchell. Without crutches.
When I first saw him take his first steps, I passed out. I mean, I fainted. I'd seen a miracle. I had never seen a miracle.
All I know is that something happened after the faith healer came, and nothing had happened before. As a scientist, I have to conclude that the faith healer made Mitchell well, not me. And that's a scientific observation from me as a pure skeptical scientist.
Today, Mitchell May lives and works in Moab, Utah.
I race walk every day. I dance every day. I stretch every day. I can run. I hike for miles. I feel so lucky to be alive. Jack gave me part of himself. I definitely, I owe my life to him.
Coming up, medical doctors who are saving lives with psychic healing.
We've discarded the wisdom of the sages and the wisdom of the ages.
Medicine is slowly working its way into the medical mainstream. Methods that were once considered outlandish, even bizarre, are now gaining acceptance. Even some insurance companies are accepting claims for treatments outside of conventional medicine.
In the last 20 years, acupuncture, acupressure, a Swedish technique, moxibustion, yoga, meditation, and massage have become part of regular treatment for illness. This is an indication that the medical community is recognizing the power of the mind. Dr. Dolores Krieger applies the laying on of hands to diagnose illness. She teaches the technique she calls therapeutic touch to students around the world.
There is an actual physiological change that occurs in the patient who has been treated by laying on of hands, and that occurs within certain blood components. Therapeutic touch is safe for the patient and for the person who's practicing it. It does work. You know, we have a lot of literature that shows that it's actually helpful. And it is not something that is esoteric and complex. It is something that is very practical. It is something you can learn to do. And it is, as I say, it's something which is helpful for the patient.
Dr. Carl Simonton is the author of The Healing Journey. He tries to take his patients through the process of positive thinking to aid in their recovery.
Aristotle agreed with this. Darwin agreed with this. One of his biggest books was on emotion and the human being. Of course, Hippocrates was very deeply involved in this. He said all of illness has an emotional component. And we've discarded this. We've discarded the wisdom of the sages and the wisdom of the ages.
Sedona, Arizona is the New Age frontier for alternative healing experiences. Ancient arts like ear coning to clear sinus and nasal passages are being used in place of more invasive surgical procedures. Ritualistic forms of healing, such as channeling, vibrational therapy, and crystals, have had some positive results. Although these methods have not been widely tested by the scientific community, they do appeal to the emotional side of the patient.
I've been sick for about 6.5 years, and I've had intestinal illness, an infection in my blood and liver, my intestines. And I worked with traditional doctors for a while, and I think their understanding of that type of illness is very limited. And actually, I think what I was doing with them was detrimental to my health. And I've had profound experiences with healers, so I know that this is real.
The Menninger Foundation in Topeka, Kansas, pioneered the use of biofeedback, visualization, and deep relaxation to reverse the effects of serious illness. They encourage patients to take on the challenge of healing themselves.
What we're really doing, I think, in terms of healing, is teaching people how to mobilize their own internal healing resources. We teach people a lot of different kinds of self-regulation so they can observe themselves changing their heart rate, changing their blood pressure, changing blood flow to different parts of the body. Both positive and negative emotions affect the chemical environment in the body, so every emotion, to some extent, maybe very minor, affects the immune system.
My chemotherapy lasted almost 5 months, and I used the biofeedback and visualization all during that time.
Dr. Deborah Kowalski was suffering from the effects of large-scale lymphoma when she decided to take control of her future.
I have been now 11 months in remission from my chemotherapy and continue to be completely free of the cancer at this point.
Coming up, will our powers of self-healing replace the conventional forms of medicine and become our lifesavers?
It's literally the future.
We've come to think of healing as something that is done to us. But psychic healers suggest that the source of healing comes from within, that we may have the power to cure a headache or perhaps even cancer. It may even be something we already do, unconsciously, every day.
There are things that we do for each other just by talking is a form of healing. Listening is a form of healing. Caressing someone's head and or nurturing or comforting them is a form of healing. So each and every one of us, whether they're young or old or in between, are always healing, yet but they don't realize it.
Some people feel that getting back to nature and the self boosts our energy and aids in our self-healing process.
The rock is energy, and I could feel it coming up through me, and I was trying to bring it up through my body so that I can be able to feel the healing energies within me, and I was able to do that here.
The Human Potential Movement has long been exploring the possibilities of self-healing. Pete Sanders Jr. is the founder of Free Soul and leads seminars in the art of finding the healer in all of us.
It makes sense to learn how to self-heal. It gives you greater freedom. It gives you more command of your own destiny. It's literally the future.
The healing techniques we've seen are often referred to as alternative medicine, But healers suggest our approach to wellness should not be an either-or situation. Psychic healing and traditional medicine should work hand in hand. Perhaps both science and the powers of the mind do have their place in good health.
Tonight, we've seen stories of miraculous healings through methods that are still extremely controversial. But there is one key to good health on which healers and medical doctors do agree. Take charge of your own health. Be involved and ask questions. For Sightings, I'm Tim White. Good night.
Next week on Sightings.